Today, we've been tasked with a side quest. We have an emergency job on a tugboat. If you've been following the channel, you know that we've been out here working underwater for the Coast Guard. There's a new pier under construction, and all the piles from the old pier are underwater and right where the Coast Guard cutters are going to be soon docking their ships. So we've been diving down to locate these piles so that we can rig up to them and load them onto the material barge. But most of the time they have some pretty gnarly rebar sticking off of them, and the vibro hammer won't slide on. So we got the burning gear out and we're doing all kinds of exothermic cutting with the Broco torch. This morning it was business as usual. The team and I were down here working hard, assessing one of the piles that needs to be removed. We were just about to get the vibro hammer in position and yank out the next pile when a call came over the radio. The tugboat captain said he heard some very alarming sounds and then lost steering. Upon further inspection, after pulling the grating off the tugboat's back deck, we found that the linkage connecting the tiller arm to the tie bar had snapped. To understand this steering system like a pro, I'll point out the topside components for you before we get in the water. We have the tie bar, the hydraulic ram, the tiller arm, and the rudder stock. When the captain moves the joystick in the wheelhouse, it triggers the hydraulic ram. The ram pushes the tiller arm port and starboard, which rotates the rudder stock. That's the shaft that goes down and turns the rudder under the boat. This is a twin screw ship, which means we have two engines, rudders, and propellers to manage. That's why the tie bar is so important. It connects the two tiller arms together so both rudders move in perfect sync. But because the linkage snapped, the tie bar couldn't do its job. The captain thinks that loud sound he heard before he lost steering was the rudder breaking loose, flipping around, and slamming right into the spinning propeller. There's only one way to find out how bad the situation is down there, so we're suiting up the next diver in rotation and sending him under the ship to inspect the damage. Alright, we're coming up on the port side running gear, which is the area in question, and right away we can see we definitely got some damage. Looks like the captain was right. The rudder spun around and took a heavy hit from the propeller. You can see the damage here on these rudder foils. These fins act as horizontal stiffeners, but their main job is hydrodynamic. They're designed to redirect rotational flow coming off the propeller and turn it into directed thrust. So as the water is streaming across the rudder, it creates a water jet. Instead of the water sloshing up or down the rudder, these foils catch it and shoot it straight back to provide better directional stability. These foils are built to handle some serious pressure, but they weren't much of a match for the propeller. The blade sliced right through them, and now they're just mangled metal standing in the way of a smooth ride. Moving on to the propeller, we can see we definitely have some deformation on the trailing edge of blade number 1. It doesn't look catastrophic, but you'd be surprised how a deformation like this can impact performance. Over on blade number 2, we have a nice little V-shaped notch here on the trailing edge as well. You can really see where that impact has carved out a notch in the bronze. The problem with a notch like this, it makes the metal more susceptible to cracking, and I'd definitely jot this down as a stress riser for sure. And this whole area of damage on blade 2 is attenuated. It's basically been shaved down into a nice edge after grinding against the rudder. Now for inspection purposes, the leading edge is the forward edge of the blade that cuts into the water, while the trailing edge is the edge facing behind the boat. Moving down to blade number 3, it looked like it was okay at first, but after a close-up we can see it too has some deformation. It doesn't look like much, but again, this can really throw the pitch off and even cause excessive cavitation and vibration. If I had to guess, I'd say this blade struck the rudder last. Finally, over on the other side of the rudder on blade 4, we have a roughly 2-inch wide sheared gouge along an attenuated edge. This is not looking good. And looking up one more time at the back side of blade 1 real quick, you can see a really good shot of that attenuated edge, and you can see how this propeller blade got sharpened just like a knife as it crushed past the rudder. Overall, this propeller is pretty jacked up and definitely needs to come out of the water and be fixed. But check this out. This tugboat has 2 rudders. This rudder forward of the propeller is called the flanking rudder, and it gives the captain just as much maneuverability in reverse as he has going forward. Well, I guess I'll just have to keep bribing the locals so they don't tell the captain how bad it really looks down here. Drop a comment if you think a handful of oysters is going to be enough to keep them quiet.